Perhaps the biggest mutiny in the Congress party since the 1970s and 80s. An all-out, very public, unusual war has erupted between the brother-sister on one side and 23 Congress veterans on the other. Those 23 veterans had written a letter to Sonia Gandhi a few weeks ago seeking an overhaul of a party that is in free fall. At this meeting today, which was held on video conference, both Rahul and Priyanka are said to have scolded the veterans who had written this letter. Rahul Gandhi accused them of colluding with the BJP, say some reports. He even questioned the timing of the letter rather than seize the moment for a possible revival of the Congress's fortunes. Well, angry and irritated over the charges enlisted in the letter, senior Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad and Kapil Sibal, who were signatories to that letter, expressed their anger. Azad challenged Rahul Gandhi to prove him guilty and offered to resign if proven the charge. Kapil Sibal too, in a tweet, reminded Rahul Gandhi of his 30-year-long association with the Congress, expressing resentment at being charged with colluding with the BJP. However, everything took a U-turn after something happened. Something took a twist, and Sibal deleted his tweet saying that Rahul Gandhi had reached out to him clarifying on the issue. Congress veteran Ghulam Nabi Azad also took a very public U-turn, saying Rahul had never charged him with colluding with the BJP, which leads to the question, what happened? Did Rahul actually scold them and accuse them of colluding with the BJP and then have a change of heart? Or were the words in fact never said? Whatever it is, some shadow boxing has shut up the Congress veterans.
कल सोनिया जी पे ट्वीट किया है कि एक जो नेतृत्व परिवर्तन की बात चल रही है उस पर आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
मैंने तो कह दिया, मैंने तो स्टेटमेंट दे दिया, उनको अध्यक्ष रहना चाहिए।
गांधी परिवार ही जो है वो आज के इस क्रूशियल टाइम में, जब देश के सामने बहुत सारी चुनौतियां हैं, उसका जवाब देने की अगर किसी में शक्ति है तो वो कांग्रेस परिवार में है। और विशेष रूप से लोग राहुल गांधी जी को चाहते हैं। ये तमाम सीनियर लीडर ऐसे हैं जो डिसीजन मेकिंग में हमेशा रहे हैं कांग्रेस के, और उनको एक तरह से हाई कमांड माना गया है। अगर उनको कोई ग्रीवांसेस था या कोई उनका सुझाव था तो वो सोनिया जी से मिलकर अपनी बात कह सकते थे, उसमें किसी तरह की कोई रुकावट नहीं थी।
कोई स्थिति नहीं बनी हुई है। हमारी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष आदरणीय सोनिया गांधी जी और हमारे नेता राहुल गांधी जी हैं जो पूरी कांग्रेस को एकजुट रखे हुए हैं। उन्हीं में नेतृत्व क्षमता है जो पूरे जो मोदी जी ने झूठे वादे किए थे उनके दांत खट्टे कर सकते हैं। और एनडीए गवर्नमेंट को जो सबक सिखाने का काम है वो राहुल गांधी जी जिस प्रकार से कर रहे हैं, किसी प्रकार का कोई
30 से ज्यादा कांग्रेस नेताओं का कहा जा रहा है कि चिट्ठी लिखी है सर, ये मांग करते हुए कि बदलाव होना चाहिए।
ये सब बकवास है, झूठी बातें हैं, कल्पनाएं हैं। सोनिया गांधी जी हमारी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हैं और राहुल गांधी जी हमारे नेता हैं।
क्या आपको लगता है कि सोनिया गांधी बनी रहनी चाहिए या फिर क्या चेंज बदलाव होना चाहिए?
निश्चित रूप से वो CWC तय करती है, लेकिन सोनिया गांधी जी और राहुल गांधी जी ही हमारे नेता हैं और उन्हीं के नेतृत्व में पूरे देश की कांग्रेस एकजुट है।
Now I want to tell you about the timeline of this explosive letter that was written, because it is this letter that has sparked this entire meeting in which there has been a furious exchange between the writers of the letter and the Gandhis on the other side. This explosive letter that has triggered this huge mutiny in the Congress is believed to have been sent about a fortnight ago. The letter called for a full-time, effective leadership change in the Congress party. The veterans, or the 23 people who were signatories to that letter, demanded elections to the highest decision-making body, the Congress Working Committee, which is basically like a cabinet of the Congress. It accused the CWC of failing to guide the party, and that is what appears to have enraged Rahul Gandhi. So angry was Rahul Gandhi that he allegedly accused the 23 writers of this letter of being BJP stooges. On the 17th of August, suspended Congress leader Sanjay Jha first tweeted that around 100 Congress leaders, including some parliamentarians, had written a letter to Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi seeking a leadership overhaul. You heard that first on India Today. Then on the 23rd of August, Sanjay Jha again tweeted claiming 300 Congress leaders from across the country are signatories to the letter, including some veterans. It is the subject matter of that letter that came up today at the Congress Working Committee meeting. Now I want to tell you a little bit more about that letter. According to Rahul Gandhi, and these are the allegations that were spread before a dramatic U-turn suddenly happened and news started spreading that Rahul Gandhi had reached out to Kapil Sibal. But according to those initial reports, these are the people, ladies and gentlemen, that Rahul Gandhi allegedly was labeling as colluding with the BJP. Ghulam Nabi Azad, Kapil Sibal, Anand Sharma, Milind Deora, Raj Babbar, Jitin Prasada, Manish Tiwari, Sandeep Dikshit. I've just named a few of them. These are the people who Rahul Gandhi allegedly said were colluding with the BJP. Can you believe it? Now Rahul Gandhi and his team have said no such words were said. At any point of time, Rahul Gandhi did not say anything about collusion with the BJP. This was clarified. But remember, this is the same Congress party that also denied the existence of this letter. So should those words be taken with a pinch of salt? Who really knows? When Rahul Gandhi reached out to Kapil Sibal, was it to say, keep quiet, don't talk about this? Or was it to say, I never said anything about you colluding with the BJP is the big question. There's a huge divide in the Congress party. No matter which way you look at it, no matter them calling people Godi media and Paltu Patrakar, that's not the point. The point is that there is a huge divide in the Congress party. On the one side, you've got people like Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, Salman Khurshid, Captain Amarinder Singh, Bhupesh Baghel and Ashok Gehlot who favor the Gandhis. And then there's the dissenter camp in which there are veterans which include people like Ghulam Nabi Azad, Kapil Sibal, Anand Sharma, Milind Deora, Raj Babbar and Manish Tiwari, who are all persons who wrote that letter. On the left, Camp Gandhi. On the right, the so-called mutineers against the Gandhi leadership at this point of time, fomenting this huge controversy. These are the questions that we are asking at this time. Number one, have the Gandhis squandered any chance at beginning a revival of their party on a healthy note? Look at the media coverage of what's happening, and we've only reported facts, ladies and gentlemen, from all sides. Have the Gandhis simply squandered the chance to have a quiet, introspective start to a healthy revival? Question number two, have the Gandhis, with all these twists and turns and drama at this CWC meeting today, amplified all that is wrong with their leadership? Question number three, have today's events simply proven the points of those 23 rebels? And that really is the moot point here. With their behavior, by allegedly scolding the veterans, by allegedly accusing them of colluding with the BJP, something that they've denied, by allegedly saying that the timing of this letter was completely wrong, has the leadership of the Congress party, that is the Gandhis, pretty much proven the point of the 23 persons who've put their signatures on this letter? I want to go across to India Today's Anand Patel for more on this story. Anand, you know, clarifications, claims, counterclaims, and at the end of the day, the only thing one is left with is that today was a huge mutiny that came out into the open. There was live commentary. There was information, screenshots being leaked from inside the Congress Working Committee, denials being issued on behalf of Rahul Gandhi. But at the end of the day, obviously a lot of bad blood that has divided the Congress today.
Well, yes, Shiv, you know, I was listening to your commentary and every word of what you said is true. And this is what the irony is, that at the moment the Congress party is a divided house. And remember, yesterday when Sonia Gandhi offered to step down after the letter which was written to the 10th Janpad was leaked, she did it with a lot of sadness, you know. And it led to an outpour of emotions from, you know, a cross-section of Congress leaders, right from chief ministers in the states, from Captain Amarinder Singh to Bhupesh Baghel to Ashok Gehlot. They all clamored, you know, for support for Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. And the letter has, in fact, strengthened the position and hold of the Gandhis in the Congress party. So, one, that the letter has boomeranged on the 23 leaders who had talked about, you know, collective leadership and asked for a full-time party president, it hasn't worked, it looks like so far. Second, look at the proceedings of the CWC. You rightly pointed out that, the minutes were being leaked out, and that is what has led to egg on the face of the Congress party. We've never seen a Congress working committee, proceedings like this in which the minutes of the meeting and the happenings of the meeting are being leaked out to the media. So clearly, the Congress party, its communication department will have to do a lot of hard work, a lot of spade work to avoid that. And after it was tweeted, by Divya Spandana, entire, messaging and entire leakage stopped. So clearly somebody was doing it with a purpose. Third, the manner in which the episode played out between Rahul Gandhi, Ghulam Nabi Azad and Kapil Sibal, yes, that has led to a lot of embarrassment.
Okay.
Ghulam Nabi Azad has clarified that what he said was not, a reaction to Rahul Gandhi's comments, but the kind of letters which was written to call out the leaders are in collusion with the BJP. And that is the reason why Sibal also was messaged by Rahul Gandhi, this is what we've learnt, and then he deleted his tweet as well. So clearly, the clamour for the Gandhi family is growing. The demand is that Sonia Gandhi should continue.
Right.
But yes, if she doesn't want to continue, then Rahul should take over the party. He should be in charge.
Okay.
It remains to be seen as to what happens. We are told that by 6:30, we will have some clarity. There will be a press conference at AIC, and it will not be a virtual press conference. It will be a face-to-face press conference.
Okay.
And we'll get the opportunity to ask a lot of questions to Randeep Singh Surjewala, the AICC chief spokesperson.
Absolutely. Randeep Singh Surjewala, who famously denied the existence of the letter. Now, of course, the letter is known to exist. Now he's denied that Rahul Gandhi scolded and accused the veterans who wrote this letter of colluding with the BJP. That's also something that is left in doubt because credibility is at an all-time low as far as communications is concerned in the Congress party. We leave it at that for the moment, but Anand will be there, of course, at that press conference to put the questions to the Congress, which will hopefully have a more united house because this is, after all, about the opposition. We are a democracy and the Congress needs to rise again. But if the drama that took place today at the CWC wasn't enough, we've got some breaking news coming up for you right now that takes things entirely to the next level. A Congress councillor has written a letter in his own blood to Sonia Gandhi. A Congress councillor, that is an elected representative named Sandeep Tanwar, has demanded in a letter written, claimed to be in his own blood, to Sonia Gandhi, asking that Rahul be appointed the Congress president. This Congress councillor's blood letter has been addressed to Sonia Gandhi, and he says that the Congress will break up and be divided if Rahul Gandhi is not made the president of the party with immediate effect. Sandeep Tanwar is the councillor of the Congress party on the Delhi Cantonment Board, no less, who's written this letter. He claims that it's been written in his own blood. Anand, a sort of bizarre turn of events here. The Congress is frequently accused of being a party that encourages sycophancy, but this is, taking things entirely to the next level. A person called Sandeep Tanwar has written a letter to Sonia Gandhi in his own blood. He's he's not just anybody, he's a councillor.
Well, absolutely, councillor from the Delhi Cantonment. We are told Sandeep Tanwar, he's written this letter and he claims that this is written in his blood and is demanding that Rahul Gandhi should be
Stay with me, Anand. We have Sandeep Tanwar on the phone with us. The man who's written this letter in his blood is on the phone with us. Sandeep ji, आपने ये खत जो लिखा है, आपके खून में लिखा है, क्यों लिखा आपने?
देखिए सर, मैं ये देखकर बहुत हैरान था कि जिस परिवार के आदमी ने अपनी पूरी जवानी जो है कांग्रेस पार्टी के लिए समर्पित कर दी, जो 2014 में चुनाव हारने के बाद गली गली मोहल्ले मोहल्ले घूमकर एक गरीब लोग की, गरीब आदमियों की आवाज देश में उठा रहा था, जो भट्टा परसोल से लेकर और देश में जितने भी मैं समझता हूँ जिन लोगों के साथ जाती हुई उनके घर घर जाकर मजबूत कर रहा था कांग्रेस को, आज उस व्यक्ति के खिलाफ कुछ लोग जानबूझकर कांग्रेस को कमजोर करने के लिए साजिश कर रहे। मेरे मन के अंदर उद्गार थे कि जहां राहुल गांधी का पसीना बहेगा वहां संदीप तंवर जैसे कांग्रेस के जो कार्यकर्ता हैं, जो कांग्रेस के मैं समझता हूं हम जान है, हम अपना खून उनके लिए बहा देंगे। मेरे ये मन के अंदर उद्गार था और मेरे खत लिखने का भी एक यही वो था कि सोनिया गांधी को पता लगे कि राहुल गांधी जी ने जो देश के अंदर नौजवानों को एक मैसेज दिया है, जो एक इतने बुरे समय में भी कांग्रेस को खड़े करने की पूरी ताकत उन्होंने लगाई है। जहां राहुल गांधी का खून बहेगा वहां संदीप तंवर का जहां पसीना बहेगा राहुल गांधी का, वहां संदीप तंवर का खून बहेगा। ये मेरा मकसद था।
संदीप जी, आपको नहीं लगता है कि जो कांग्रेस के नेता है जिसने एक खत लिखा है कांग्रेस के लीडरशिप को कि कुछ करना चाहिए अभी दल के लिए, आपको नहीं लगता है कि उस लेटर में कुछ है, उस खत में कुछ है?
देखिए सर, मैं एक बात कहना चाहूंगा, जब कांग्रेस सत्ता में थी, ये चंद वो लोग हैं ना जो कभी कॉर्पोरेशन का चुनाव लड़े, ना कभी विधानसभा का चुनाव लड़े, ना कभी पार्लियामेंट का चुनाव लड़े। ये कांग्रेस के नाम पर राहुल गांधी और राजीव गांधी, इंदिरा गांधी के परिवार के नाम पर ये सत्ता के अंदर आए, राज्यसभा के मेंबर बने, मलाईदार सीटें, कोई एचआरडी मिनिस्टर बना, कोई कानून मंत्री बना, कोई विदेश मंत्री बना। इन लोगों ने सिर्फ मलाई खाई है। बुरे वक्त के अंदर अच्छे जो लोग होते हैं वही साथ रहते हैं, बुरे वक्त के अंदर जो गंदे लोग होते हैं वो पार्टी छोड़कर भाग जाते हैं, वो क्रिटिसिज्म करना शुरू कर देते हैं। तो मेरी नजरों में तो ये पार्टी के जयचंद है और इनको ऐसे समय पे ऐसा करना ही था। जब पार्टी को इनकी सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत थी, तब पार्टी के साथ ना खड़े होकर तुम एक तरीके से कंट्रोवर्सी खड़ी कर रहे हैं पार्टी के अंदर।
संदीप जी, आपने ये खत जो है सोनिया गांधी को लिखा है, आप अपने खून से लिखा है आपने, क्या आपको नहीं लगता है कि वो नेताएं जो सवाल उठाते हैं पार्टी के अंदर, उनका जो बात है मानना नहीं चाहिए? वो दल के लिए ही तो है।
जो पार्टी में सिर्फ मलाईदार पोस्ट लेने के लिए ही पार्टी के अंदर रहते हैं, उनका इस पार्टी के अंदर मैं नहीं समझता कि हमें कोई उनकी जरूरत है। हमारे को राहुल गांधी जैसे, प्रियंका गांधी जैसे और बहुत सारे नेता हैं जो कांग्रेस को मजबूत करने में राहुल गांधी के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर काम कर रहे हैं। ऐसे लोगों की आज वक्त है, जरूरत है। कांग्रेस को अब जरूरत है कि राहुल गांधी हमारी पार्टी के अध्यक्ष बने और एक छत्र तरीके से, नौजवान तरीके से एक जवान कांग्रेस को खड़ा कर सकता है तो केवल उसका नाम राहुल गांधी है।
संदीप, गुलाम नबी आजाद, कपिल सिब्बल, शशि थरूर, मनीष तिवारी, मिलिंद देवरा, जितिन प्रसादा, ऐसे नेता हैं जो इस लेटर को लिखा है। आप उनको क्या बताएंगे फिर आप अभी?
सर, मैं तो उनको यही कहना चाहूंगा, वो पार्टी के बड़े सीनियर नेता हैं, उनको खुद सोचना चाहिए। जब परिवार
क्योंकि संदीप जी वो बोल रहे हैं कि अभी कुछ परिवर्तन होना चाहिए लीडरशिप में, आप बोल रहे हैं कि परिवर्तन बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए।
देखिए सर, राहुल गांधी को कभी फ्री हैंड मिला ही नहीं है अभी तक। आप 2014 के बाद आप देश में जहां जहां पर भी जो जो मुसीबतें आई, चाहे वो बाढ़ आई, चाहे वो भट्टा परसोल किसानों की बात हुई, जहां दलितों की बात हुई, जहां महिला आरक्षण की बात हुई, जहां पर देश के सारे मुद्दों पर राहुल गांधी के अलावा कभी पार्लियामेंट के अंदर आपने किसी बड़े नेता को सुनते हुए या बोलते हुए देखा है? ये सब वो लोग हैं, जब कांग्रेस सत्ता में आ जाती है तो ये लोग भारत सरकार के मंत्री बन जाते हैं और फिर ये अपना जो मलाई खाते हैं, जो कहावत है कि वक्त पर मलाई खाओ और बुरे वक्त में छोड़कर भाग जाओ, वो कहावत इनके ऊपर बिल्कुल साबित होती है सर।
Okay, Sandeep Tawar has written a letter in his own blood, a sort of bizarre twist to an already dramatic sequence of events as far as the Congress Working Committee is concerned. He's written a letter addressed to Sonia Gandhi, and remember, he's not a fringe leader, he's a councillor, elected representative, part of the Delhi Cantonment Board, member of the Congress Party, who's written this letter to Sonia Gandhi in his own blood and says that if the Gandhis are not the leaders of the Congress, then the party is going to be history. We leave it at that on that particular element. But I want to bring in India Today's Mausami Singh, who's been at the front lines of every twist and turn in this story. Mausami, claims, counterclaims from within the Congress Working Committee meeting. The veteran letter writers were scolded, rebuked, told that they were colluding with the BJP. Then there was a retraction and a denial. What is the truth, Mausami? Because this is the same team that denied the very existence of such a letter.
The Congress party, Shiv, has been saying it from the start, ever since the poll debacle, has been in a denial mode. And, many critics feel that Rahul Gandhi's stand in the CWC was completely unwarranted. He should have let the other leaders take on the baton and take on the leaders who had written the letter. Perhaps Rahul Gandhi speaking so harsh as far as the leaders writing that letter is concerned, and in fact speaking his heart out is a bit too much, or too much of an overreach for a leader of his stature, is what many critics feel. He could have clearly avoided that. You've already got many leaders in the CWC who questioned the timing of the letter, who questioned these leaders. for writing this letter that could invariably benefit the BJP. And that's why you had Ghulam Nabi Azad saying that he clarified that I actually was talking about the other leaders who had pointed out that this letter would help the BJP. And if that's my connection with the BJP is established, I will quit. So it's really, the Congress party has been washing its dirty linen in public.
Terrible.
There's been counter claims, and till the evening now, from morning 11 a.m., there has been no solution in sight. Sonia Gandhi is refusing to blink. I believe Rahul Gandhi would not like to take on this job at this juncture. Considering the atmosphere and the perception that it will convey, that Sonia Gandhi took the baton from Rahul, and then Rahul took the baton from Sonia. So it's all in the Gandhi family. So Rahul Gandhi is not ready to blink. The climax is still due. Shift picture abhi baki hai. We will have to wait till the evening.
Mostly, very quickly, there's a press conference I hear by the Congress party at 6:30 p.m. not on video conference but face to face. Are they going to be planning to put up some kind of united face after all this, Saas Bahu level drama that has played out? I mean, this was an opportunity for them to show a united, introspective face. It's completely backfired.
I still feel, Shiv, that press conference, though it's slotted at 6:30, might be pushed a little further because there are many leaders who have to speak. I believe Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is not spoken yet. She had interjected Ghulam Nabi Azad saying what you're speaking and what's written in the letter, it doesn't match. So really, the knives have been drawn out in that CWC meeting. And I think that perhaps we'll see more theatrics and more people climbing the trees if Sonia Gandhi refuses to budge and Rahul Gandhi also refuses to budge, because there is a sentiment in the Gandhi family that neither of them will accept the top post till the elections are held. And that's a consensus, I believe, our sources say, in the Gandhi family. Whether the CWC members can persuade them otherwise, we will have to wait and see. And Sonia Gandhi's health condition is also not very good. So I am told that she's not ready to even extend her duties more than today. She cannot be a stopgap arrangement till the next president is sworn in and elections happen. So we will have to see how the Congress really resolves this dilemma. But perhaps maybe they can really convince Sonia Gandhi to hang on for a bit longer.
We'll have to see how it actually plays out. Who's going to be president? Is it going to be the Gandhis? And as Mausami put it, where do these theatrics go next? Mausami and her team will continue to keep us updated. Thanks very much for getting us that update.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.